In today's video, we're going to be talking about what a Henning nickel is. In front of you, you see 1942 to 1945 war nickels. Why am I bringing this up? This will lead right into my story just in a moment. The 1942 to 1945, they are 35% silver. The way we tell the difference is, the only year that they made the 35% silver, they actually stamped them with a P, D, or an S on the back. This one just happens to be a 1944, and we will use this as a reference in a moment. So I'm going to put it right on the side. So what a Henning nickel is a person named Francis Leroy Henning created what the numismatics now call the Henning nickel. Name applied after himself, of course. The variety of coins he illegally produced at the Jefferson nickel during the 1950s. What Henning thought was an ingenious plan to create counterfeit nickels turned out in the end to be a complete failure. Why, we ask? Henning ultimately failed because he chose to counterfeit the mass-produced 1944 nickel, a date famous among collectors, Jefferson nickels, due to wartime needs. The United States famously replaced the nickel composition in 1944. They actually did it in 1942, but this is how it reads. From the nickel to specify composition, 35% silver, 9% magnesium, and 56% copper. So what Henning did was, he didn't put any silver in the nickel. He made dyes, and basically what he did was, he made them so good, you couldn't tell the difference. It goes on to say here, the reason why Henning did not fool mass with the fake nickels is due to the fact there was no silver, like I just said, in the content of the planchets. His composition was include the real nickel, raise suspicion to the legitimacy of some of the 1944 nickels in circulation. The icing on the cake, however, was omission to the Philadelphia mint mark. Again, the Philadelphia mint mark, now they do make them in P, D, and S, the different mints. But do you remember back in 55, there was not a lot of airplanes in the air for U.S. travel. So these did not go from from state lines too often. Or, where Philadelphia was, they didn't get out to the west that often. And that is why they're claiming it's only the P that he did not recognize on the back of the coin. But on the other coins he minted, they were so good. It was hard to tell the difference from the other nickels. Henning applied different dates other than 1944 to his counterfeit dyes, including 1939, 1946, 1947, and 1953. It's why I believe if Henning avoided the mishap of his 1944 counterfeit, the other nickels he produced would have been virtually unrecognizable from the genius ones he made. I mean, they were so good, even the top so-called experts, and I think, folks, I really do not like that word, experts, but while Henning did not make hundreds of thousands of counterfeit nickels, he never gained any wealth from the inventor. So he never really made a lot of money by minting nickels. It comes to say he dumped 200,000 counterfeit nickels into a water body, which I'm not going to say, in South New Jersey, and he dumped another $200,000 in another body of water in South New Jersey. I'm not going to go into that because they are claiming still today, people are finding these nickels at the bottom of these two reservoirs of water, and they are selling on eBay. But I want to make it very clear, they are illegal to own. The reason why they are illegal to own, they are counterfeits. In this country, it is illegal to possess any forms of fake currency or coinage. It's counterfeit. But they're still selling on eBay One sold for $82.56 recently. One sold for $97 recently. And one sold for $104. So if you happen to have any of these dates and you think they count, especially the 44, and has no P on it, more likely you have a Henning nickel. Please do not put that on eBay, because it is against the law to sell them and to have them in your possession. So if you do have one, don't say nothing to nobody. That is one thing. I don't own any. I did not realize this story was actually out there. One of you all had broke the story to my email address, and I don't know everything about coins. Yeah, I work in the coin shop, but I made this channel for all of us to learn, and I hope this helped you guys out a little bit. I thought it was an interesting story, so I decided to make a video on it. But if you want to know more about the Henning nickel, just type in your browser Henning nickel, and you will find out where those two bodies of water are in South Jersey there. Because, like I said, today, people are still finding them in the bottom. So he finally got arrested in Cleveland, Ohio, in 1955. So he did go to prison for it. He did escape New Jersey prison, and he was caught up later in Cleveland in 1955. And, if he did not make the 1944 counterfeit, he probably would have got away with it, because he messed up on the composition of the nickels and not having the right mint marks on the nickels from 1942 to 1945. So, there's your story of the Henning nickel. Like I said, if you want to learn more, you can go to, just type it in, and there will be articles about the Henning nickel. So, maybe you should look through your stuff, maybe sure you don't have one or try to sell one by accident that you do not know about. Just thought I would get the word out. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And till next video, Coin Shop Chris is out.